Hi, today we're going to be talking about Pinewood Derby cars. I love Pinewood Derby cars because of the science of the Pinewood Derby. A couple things, this video is going to be on the rules of Pinewood Derby that I'd recommend you use in your troops for a bunch of reasons. The first one is probably my biggest pet peeve. It's the I'm richer than you rule. Okay, so the first one is no store-bought competition parts. Okay, this means somebody that went into a store, walked over and said, I want the fastest wheels money can buy, I don't care. And or axles or whatever it is, or special fins or things you did not make that you have sat there and said, okay, I want this to be the thing I want. So ultralight wheels, special axles, things like that. Pretty simple stuff. This is an honesty type deal. I can usually tell right off the bat if they've been purchased. They do have a different look to them, and most of them are done on a lathe. It's pretty easy to tell. Okay, same thing with wheels. You know, you can usually tell right off the bat. Graphite only. Okay, now why would I pick graphite over oil lubes? Everybody says it's because it fouls the track. I don't care about that. This bottle right here costs $3. Okay, and will last you the rest of your life. Okay. It's good stuff. You can buy fancy lubes. Usually the fanciest lubes I own, my favorite, it's like $6. Okay? Liquid lubes, on the other hand, get spilt. They have it, you know, we go through them a little faster. They're harder to make work properly. And they cost about $19. It's really just a purchaser. The idea of, again, kind of going with the beginning. I can spend more than you to win. I like graphite. It's real simple. Now, in the competition, we will ask you to put graphite on your wheels when you get there in front of a judge. The reason for that is because if you have oil on your car and you add graphite in front of me, your car will run horribly. You know, so it's real simple to take that test, and let's just all play fair, okay? Remember, this is about having fun and all that kind of thing. Okay. No aerodynamic fenders. This does not mean you can't have a cool car that has it's all molded and everything like that. It's aerodynamic fenders. So fenders that are designed to cut the wind resistance on a car. This is something that can be crazy. It is I think it's a big benefit. I do not feel it to be something that everybody needs. So I definitely don't see that they're hard to work with. They're hard to find in our area. Even to get. It's one of those things you have to order, something you can't. And in my feelings, it gives everybody that built them an advantage, and they're just kind of hard to do. So no fenders. So no aerodynamic fenders. Okay. All BSA markings must be left on wheels inside and out. Reference dots on the wheels. Okay. What does this mean? That means there is marks on the outside of all of the wheels we have in our rules state that they must be BSA approved wheels. So we must be able to read all of the BSA markings on the front and on the inside. They'll actually be marked with BSA on them. Now, this is one thing a lot of people do. They grind the wheel down to make the wheel lighter, and we do not allow lightened wheels. There's little reference dots all the way around the outside. So people go, oh, well, I won't cut out the inside, I'll just ground down the outside. If I can't see those reference dots, you have a cheater wheel. Pretty simple, right? Okay. Okay. Wheel tread must be left flat. This is one that's in every rule book. It basically means you can't sit there and narrow the wheel out to nothing. You can't sit there and turn into a V groove, which doesn't work anyways. You know, pretty simple stuff. You know, you can sand them, but they have to remain flat. And basically no lightning. So basically, if you take a wheel, so let's find a wheel here real quick. So we've got a wheel. All wheels should range in about that 2.4, 2.3 to about 2.7. Okay, that's where a wheel that has not been tampered with should run. Real simple. You know, you shouldn't have 1-ounce wheels. If I have to pull a wheel off because I feel you're cheating, we'll go from there. Okay, no lightening of wheels. Again, it's pretty simple. Wheels should be anywhere from about the 2.2 to 2.7. That's kind of the standard wheel. You can weigh all your wheels and kind of do things with them, but they really should never get below really even the 2.3 range to be stock. Blocks cannot be altered. Okay, what we mean by that is that they cannot be altered in length or width. Basically meaning that your car has to set on this little guy when we get it. It basically means you haven't cut the block down to give yourself an unfair advantage, or added or taken away from the block to give yourself any kind of advantage there. There are some advantages, and I won't get into them right now, of cutting the block or making it shorter or longer. Basically, as to set on this, everything has to move freely, so it's not dragging. That basically helps you more than it really does me. And you do have to make sure that your car will do that. So all the standard sizing requirements that are in the kit, when you get the kit, that will definitely be something to look for. Okay. Wheelbase cannot be cannot protrude past the block on either end, and that's supposed to be wheel weights. I'm going to go ahead right now and tell you it's supposed to be wheel weights. So wheel weights or wheelbase. So sorry, this is supposed to say wheel base. Basically meaning that I cannot take the car and take the wheel and protrude it out the back or protrude it out the front, giving myself an advantage of being able to move my center of mass even farther back. So we definitely don't want to do that. Next is weights. I cannot sit there and strap weights to the back of the car or in weird areas to make them, you know, not appropriate. So keep in mind that. That also means that weights have to be on the wood, not on the wheels. So we're not allowing wheel weights. Let's see here. Weights and other items cannot protrude past the car on either end. So real simple. Must have all 4 wheels on the car. We have to have all 4 wheels on the car. We do not allow you to take wheels off or use other type of pinning devices to get them to guide down the track. Must have at least 3 wheels touch. Okay, this is really more for your benefit than mine. There is a kind of a myth out there of the 2-wheel car, basically stating that you can put your car on 2 wheels and then balance it so it will go down the track properly. It doesn't work. A 3-wheel car works really well. The reason I do not require 4 wheels is because the average car is very, very hard to get it to set on all 4 wheels. So just don't. Put it on 3 wheels. It works a lot better anyways. Okay. No grooves and axles. This is a real simple one, guys. You can't groove the axle so it collects more lube or whatever you want to do, or less friction. This one is mainly just because it's hard to do. Your kids are probably going to have a hard time doing it. If you've got a 10-year-old kid that can groove his own axles, I'll be impressed. That's something you're probably doing for him. So we do not allow that. Only stock wheels may be purchased. You can purchase in our wheels. We allow you to either purchase from the Scout store or from any of the hobby stores or craft stores. They all sell the Revell brand, which is an official sponsor of Pinewood Derby. So these are BSA approved wheels. They are matching and they're cool colors, so that's not against the rules. Saying that, we only give you 2 options for aftermarket wheels. That would be the Revell or the Scout ones you buy at the Scout store. And they must be bought stock. They are not allowed to be lightened, modified, done anything. You should be doing that at home. Same thing with the axles. Axles, again, you can buy the Revell brand. I like that brand. It works. They're a little bit better than the ones you get in the box most of the time. The ones coming in the box are actually pretty good, and so are the wheels. I mean, it's not like it used to be. But definitely the axles must be left stock. And if you do need one or lose some, the Revell ones are the only ones you can. You cannot buy aftermarket speed ones. Car cannot weigh more than 5 ounces. This is real simple, guys. This is the standard basic thing out there. Make sure your weight's in the back. That's just a tip I'm giving you right now. And make sure that you are trying to get as close to 5 ounces as possible. No washers, bearings, or other metal or plastic aids for wheels. That means you cannot have where the car touches, bearings, washers, all kinds of things where the wheel touches the axle in the car. These are cheats, okay? We can see them, we can find them, we can spin the wheels and tell, okay? Do not put them on, it is a cheat, okay? And frankly, you don't need them. Half the time the car goes faster unless you know what you're doing without them. Okay, no starting items, springs or start aids, glue, tackiness, cheats that make the car ride farther down the track before it even starts. Okay, so this basically means, there's a couple things here. One, there's all kinds of sticky things. They'll put a sticky thing on and make it so when the gate drops, it pulls the car forward. They'll put a magnet on the tip, against the rules also. Any kind of propelling item, CO2, springs, motors, all that kind of stuff, all legal. These are ran on gravity. Play with the rules, have fun with it. It's a lot of fun if you try to beat everybody within the rules. The other thing is this is kind of a common one. This is a car that is in the book that I really like. If you guys get a chance, this is the book I recommend everybody go out and purchase. It's a lot of good information. I've taken classes from NASA scientists and physicists and all kinds of things, and truthfully, I got 90% of what I use right out of this book. One thing that people do is they actually put a U-groove all the way down the car, which allows the pin to set clear back here and giving your car an unfair advantage, right? Wouldn't that make sense? So if you are going to use a U-groove in the front of the car for starting capabilities, we do have to have you have some kind of a block mechanism to start, so it's actually starting at the front. We also, if you're on our track, we have a timer, so we make you put a piece of tape on the front here, and that allows the timer to be able to gauge there. If you're using this without a piece of tape with a timer, a lot of times it will not pick it up until the car hits this center point, because that's where the laser is. It won't catch off that little piece. Just a recommendation, put a little piece of tape that kind of flows back there a little bit so that it knows that it's hit the car. Okay? And basically, anything that's not gravity, that's illegal. It is okay to re-drill the holes. So changing, a lot of times the cars, I hate the way the cars come with the slots and everybody says, oh, you've got to use the slots that are on the hole. The slots are horrible. It even tells you can recut them. I recommend drilling the holes, and if your rules mandate you must use the slots, drill the holes and then cut slots through the holes. It's a much better way of doing it. Saying that, in our rules, that's okay. Rail riding is okay. Different wheelbases are okay. So this is stating like this has a longer wheelbase car. This is a shorter wheelbase car. Remember the wheels, you want your rear wheels to be in the back and your wheels that are in the front to go farther back towards the back. We're trying to get all the weight in the back. So don't run your car like this, where the closest wheels are to the front. That's just a bad idea. But I don't care if you run extended wheelbases or shorter wheelbases. There's all kinds of different things out there. Mess with the science, run your cars, learn the different tricks. You'll be given a list of the rules. They'll also be on Facebook. If you guys have any questions, my phone number is on the paperwork. This will also come with a set of techniques that we're going to be putting out in the next couple of videos here. We're going to talk a little about what kind of tools you want to have, or what should you buy, and what would help you down the road. So basically what I mean by that is some techniques that I've learned over the years. We've won a ton of races. I usually help 2 or 3 people build a car every year. I have yet not to get a winner every single year. So definitely, not saying that I'm a professional builder by any means, but the idea is that we can help you kind of go through the gobbledygook that's online. So kind of get rid of some of those fake things. The same thing with tools and different kinds of graphite that I've purchased over the years that is absolute trash. So don't believe everything is online. But please join us for our next video when we talk about the tools to look for when buying for Pinewood Derby. And then after that, we'll be talking about my favorite tips to make you have a great Pinewood Derby. So as always, have a great day.